Hey folks, today I'm taking a look at X-Transbots Masterpiece Scaled Wildrider, aka Flipout. Look at Flipout's articulation. Now the head does do a full 360. You have a bicep cut on the arm. The elbow is double jointed, probably for transformation, and the fists can turn as well. They can do a full 360 if you wish. The chest piece does this because there's no way to lock in the backpack. But however, this does give you the articulation on the waist. You can still turn partially with the waist locked in, but this part here, yep, this part here will stop that turn from happening and probably cause damage to the paint, so don't do that. You've got the hip skirts, so they open up. And this allows the leg movement to go forward, back and to the side. There is no thigh cut for the leg. It looks like there is, but there isn't. That's probably because of his design and decoration there. On the knee you have a lovely ratchet joint. Nice and solid. And the die-cast feet have an ankle tilt. So when it comes to articulation, you are getting the MP Carformer standard of articulation, which is not a bad thing at all. The transformation for Flipout to his alt mode is a bit fiddly at times. When it comes to converting the front part of the car, that's pretty straightforward. You're just adjusting the arm brackets accordingly and folding the arms in on each other, and then just unpacking the bonnet and the front of the car, and they just all tab in nicely. Just do remember to make sure that you flip out the wing mirrors and also flip out the wheel rims as well, because they fold in to make a more compact looking backpack in robot mode. That's your easy part done and out the way. The hardest part, and it's more fiddly than hard, is when it comes to the legs, as the legs do a really clever thing when it comes to transforming into robot mode. They pack away, and you've got some joints that are on swivels that swivel into the gaps to sort of fill them out, which is really neat. But when it comes to reversing that process, that's when it becomes a bit pernickety and takes a bit of time till you get used to it. As you'll see when you're watching the quick transformation here, it's a bit of a pain in the backside, but just bear with it. After a few attempts, it will become smoother. Sometimes I'll transform it quite easily, sometimes I'll get stumped. It's always harder when you're trying to transform and show on camera at the same time, I feel. Once you've got everything the right way around, it's just a case of tabbing everything in together. This will take just a few little bits of adjustment here and there. Some things will pop out, just pop them back in, just smooth things out. You'll get there with it, and once you do, it's definitely worth it to see this awesome alt mode. Flipout in his alt mode, and what an alt mode it is. It's the Magnum PI Ferrari, but with a different paint scheme, as you can imagine. It's the Wildrider G1 paint scheme, but wow, it's brilliant. I don't know what type of paint they've used, but it's super reflective. You can see how it's just hitting off the LED lights that are behind my camera, and it works wonderfully. You have this excellent clear translucent red plastic, which is always a win for me. Red's my favourite colour. Absolutely brilliant. A lot of people have said they've had issues with the transformation, with things not sort of tabbing in place. I have a few issues like that there. I think it's just, you've got to really get the die-cast feet in the right positioning when it comes to transforming them, because they are sort of causing a bit of pressure, I feel. I could be wrong. It could just be that the fact that the roof section does tab into a plastic bit there as well, so it might just be the tolerances fighting against each other. But really, that's a small complaint for something this well detailed. The ambiguously looking Ferrari logo, you've got those wonderful painted hubcaps, and you actually get some painted taillights at the back. Absolutely stunning. My thoughts on X-Transbots Flipout. Everybody always asks when it comes to X-Transbots figures, what's the quality like? This is brilliant. I've had no QC issues at all. The figure feels solid. Definitely a step up from Crack-Up. We know Crack-Up was cheaper and also probably rushed released because of the whole thing with that mould being knocked off and turned into some nasty looking sideswipe. Clearly not the case here. Construction is solid. I've not had anything like headlights or anything like that pop off. I've had the arm come off in the ball joint socket there, but that was just because of me being cack-handed when it came to transforming him. The only thing I could be nitpicky about is the fact that the back doesn't really lock in and you get this sort of issue happening, but still, it means he can sit quite cushy. The paint has been applied on mine, superb. I absolutely love the red paint on this. It's so shiny, it's just so shiny, reflective when it hits off light surfaces. The same paint's been used on his face, and I think that's brilliant. There is another face plate you get with the package, but I'm quite happy with this one. Absolutely stunning. Personally, I can't wait for the next releases, and for the price point you're paying for this, sort of between £40 and £50, considering that's what MP figures used to cost from Takara, you're getting quite a nice bit of robot joy for your money. And let's face it, I very much doubt Takara's going to do MP stunticons at any time. Well folks, that's my look at X-Transbots Flipout. There'll be some pictures at the end of this video, including a picture with MP sideswipe, just to give you an idea of the scale. As mentioned, it is an MP scaled line from X-Transbots and will fit in perfectly with your MP 3P shelf. Thank you very much again to my subscribers. I really appreciate the support, and as always guys, be excellent to each other.